Hola. In this lesson, we are going to do a big present tense verb review. We've been working mostly with the past tense the past couple of units, where you went, what you did. And so in this unit, we're going to review the present tense. And we will sort of flip back and forth between tenses for the rest of the year. One of the characteristics of a more advanced or more intermediate language speaker is that you can manage different tenses, right? You can choose which tense you want to use. Do I want to talk in the present? Do I want to talk in the past? And you can use different time frames to be talking about different things, that happen or happened in Spanish. Okay. So in this lesson, we are going to review the regular tense, the regular present tense verb endings. We're going to look at a couple of irregular verbs that you see quite a bit, and we are going to briefly talk about stem changers, although that isn't the focus of this lesson. All right, so let's talk about the regular present tense endings. First of all, we have an AR verb, trabajar, an ER verb, comer, and an IR verb, vivir. And we know that all verbs in Spanish have two parts. They have the stem and the ending, and the stem is anything that's left over after you take off the AR, the ER, or the IR. And when we conjugate a verb, the first step is always to take off the ending, and that leaves us with the stem. Here the stem and here the stem. So we take off the ending, that leaves us with the stem, and then we add our new set of endings onto the stem. So I've already done that piece. I've already taken off the ending and just written in the stems just to speed up this video. Okay, so let's look at the yo form. The yo form across the board for AR, ER, or IR verbs, the ending is O. I work, trabajo, I eat, como, I live, vivo. So the tu form, you, informally, trabajas for AR verbs, and for ER and IR verbs, es, comes, vives. Okay, tu trabajas, tu comes, tu vives. So usted, you, but formally, usted trabaja, come, vive. So far, you can see ER and IR are the same set of endings, which is nice. Él or ella, he or she, trabaja, come, vive. We work, eat, or live. This is where the ER and the IR differ a little bit. Nosotros o nosotras trabajamos, comemos, vivimos. All right, so you can see this is where there's a bit of a difference, as well as vosotros. So you guys, talking to a group of people, you guys or y'all in Spain, trabajáis, don't forget your accent mark, coméis, vivís, and all of those forms have an accent mark. So it's the nosotros and vosotros forms where the ER and IR verbs have a different set of endings, and other than that, they're the same. So ustedes, you guys, in Mexico now instead of in Spain, so you guys work, trabajan, you guys eat, comen, you guys live, viven, back to the same. And then they work, eat, live, trabajan, comen, viven. And all regular verbs in Spanish in the present tense will follow this pattern. You take off the AR and you add the AR ending. So o, as, a, amos, ais, on. Or you take off the ER and add the ER endings. O, es, e, hemos, es, en. Or you take off the IR and add the IR endings, which are very similar to the ER endings. O, es, e, imos, is, en. So any regular verb in Spanish in the present tense will follow that pattern. You take off the AR, ER, IR, and you add whatever ending you want for, whoever you're talking about. We do have lots of irregular verbs in Spanish just to keep things spicy. So two that come up a lot are ser, is to be, like I am or you are or she is in English. And then tener is to have. I have, he has, we have. You can hear even when I'm saying the English conjugations of those verbs that they're irregular in English as well. So let's just start with ser. I am, yo soy. You are, tú eres, or more formally, usted es. He or she is, él o ella es. We are, nosotros somos. You guys are in the vosotros form in Spain, vosotros, vosotras sois. And the ustedes form, son. And then they are ellos o ellas son. So you can see that's totally irregular. And then tener is also a little bit irregular. Yo tengo, or I have. You have, tú tienes. Usted tiene. Él, ella tiene. Nosotros tenemos. Vosotros, so you guys, but in Spain, tenéis. Accent mark there on the E. Ustedes tienen. Ellos, ellas tienen. Okay, so here we have a couple of irregular verbs. Let's briefly talk about stem changers. This isn't the focus of the lesson, though. Stem changers are exactly what it sounds like. In the stem, like jugar, querer, poder, everything after you take off the AR, ER, or IR, there's a change. In the case of jugar, we know in present tense that U changes to UE. Yo juego, tú juegas, usted juega, él, ella juega, nosotros and vosotros, no stem change. So it goes back to jugamos, jugáis, and then ustedes juegan, ellos, ellas juegan. The same thing happens, for example, with querer, where that E changes to IE. Yo quiero, tú quieres, usted, él, ella quiere. And then in nosotros, vosotros, it doesn't change. Queremos, queres, ustedes quieren. And we've learned this one, poder, as well. That changes to, that O changes to a UE. And even tener is actually, it's an irregular yo form. And then we have this E to IE stem change, which is partly what makes it irregular, along with that irregular yo form. Tu tienes, right? That E changes to an IE. Tiene, tiene. And then in the nosotros, vosotros form, it doesn't. Tenemos, tenéis, and then back to the IE, tienen, tienen. But that's not the focus of this lesson, but I just wanted, since it was a big present tense review, I wanted to touch on that as well. All right, so in this space down below here in your Cornell notes, write a summary of what you just learned. Adios.